No one should have to choose between their paycheck and their family, a choice that, frankly, moms are still confronted with more than dads. People should be focused on spending time with their baby, not worrying about how they'll pay their bills.
Trudeau was not alone this week. We also heard from both the Conservative and NDP leader regarding promises made to families. So to talk about the pros and the cons of those pledges made and others talked about with families today, we're now joined by Rubina Ahmed-Had. She is a personal finance expert. Always nice to have you in the program, Rubina.
Thanks for having me.
So, let's break up the parties. And really, we're going to focus on just the week that was and what we heard from the Liberals, the Conservatives, and the New Democrats. Beginning with the Liberals, we heard a little bit of Justin Trudeau. Let's take a bit more of a listen to the promise he made to families earlier this week.
We are going to increase the Canada Child Benefit by 15% if you have kids under the age of 1. And to give people more money up front, we're making maternity and parental benefits tax exempt at source.
Okay, so an increase to the Canada Child Benefit for kids under the age of 1, making tax-free parental leave at source. Let's begin with the pros. What are the benefits? Who would benefit from such a proposal?
Well, especially the people who will benefit are families who are on the fence of whether they can afford a baby or not. So it is a very expensive time of year. I mean, some estimates say that the first baby can cost you up to $10,000 in the first year. So those families will definitely benefit. Those that are looking at their numbers and saying that, a baby is just not in the budget, so to speak, if you are planning that well, they might say, okay, this is going to give us that extra amount of money that is going to allow us to start a family and actually be able to afford the rest of our life as well.
Okay, and what are the cons of this proposal?
Well, the big con is that when you get maternity benefits, it is $500 and change a week, so it's not a lot of money. So the people who can actually live on that kind of money usually have a spouse that's making a higher salary. So it still might be benefiting those upper middle class families and not really addressing the needs of lower income families who might have to still go back to work after 3-4 months, even though it's tax-free benefits, even though they're getting extra money from the government, they still might not have enough to actually pay their rent, put food on the table, and do all the things they need to do for their children and family. Okay,
so that is the Liberal proposal that we heard this week. We also, as I said, heard from Andrew Shearer, the Conservative leader. Take a listen to the policy proposal that he made.
Well, I can assure you that throughout the rest of this campaign, we'll be proposing new ideas to leave more money in the pockets of Canadians. These were incredibly popular tax credits. Hundreds of thousands of Canadian families appreciated the extra help with paying for kids' activities. That is why they were so disappointed when Justin Trudeau canceled them.
So, for specifically, this is what he's proposing there. He wants to reintroduce or restore that tax credit that allows parents to claim up to $1,000 per child for expenses related to fitness or sports activities. So this is something that we saw in the Harper government. Andrew Shearer wants to bring it back if they become government. Let's begin with the pros. Who benefits from this?
Well, parents who have their kids in sports programs, they are very expensive. You speak to parents all the time, especially those kids who are in hockey and those programs that are very expensive. They will be able to claim this credit, the full $150 off the first $1,000 they spend on their kids' sports programs. So those parents are definitely going to benefit. And he's right. It was a very popular program. And when it was taken away, the arts and the fitness credit, a lot of families felt like that was unfair because they're doing what they can to get their kids extracurricular activities. They want to be able to claim this credit to get some money back for it.
And let's talk about the cons then, because it seems that one of the cons would be you would actually have to have the money in the first place to actually qualify for this tax credit.
Well, again, by and large, people who put their kids in, outside of school or outside of community fitness and sports programs are those who have the extra disposable income to do it. So you have to, first of all, spend $1,000 to get $150 back. And ask any parent who's got their kids in sports, it's not just $1,000 a year, it's a lot more than that, especially if you're trying to get your child to an elite level. I mean, it's not really going to help those families. So again, is this credit being used by the people who need it the most? The reason it was taken taken away was that they could boost the Canada Child benefit. That was the reasoning given at the time. Is this going to help low-income families? Not if you look back at the data.
Okay, well, now let's talk about the NDP because more than once Jagmeet Singh was talking. In fact, most recently yesterday, the NDP essentially promising free dental care for households making under $70,000 a year. And let's play a bit of Jagmeet Singh for people at home to hear how he explained the benefit.
Our healthcare system should cover you from head to toe. Your medication should be covered. You shouldn't have to worry about benefits covering your medication. We are going to cover that with our plan. Your dental care should be covered by a healthcare plan.
So, beginning with the pros.
Well, the pros is that, according to their own numbers, 4.3 million people will have access to dental care. And then dental care does have, medical consequences. If you don't take care of your teeth, it can lead to other things that then affect your overall well-being. So this is, proactively helping those people that may not have access to private insurance or may not be able to afford to go to the dentist. So definitely it's going to have an impact, especially on young kids who their new teeth, they want to be able to take their kids to the dentist, but they can't afford to. This will allow those families to do that.
And the drawback of something like this?
Well, the drawback is the cutoff. It's 70,000, and then it's on a gradual sliding scale up to a family household income of 90,000. What about that family making 100,000? They still might need some help when it comes to dental care. Dental care should be universal. If anybody needs to go and get their teeth cleaned or fixed, if you're going to make it available to a portion of Canadians, make it available to everybody. And the other problem is that dentists now have to serve as the police to say, do you have private insurance? Are you qualified for this program? And so are dentists really wanting, or the person sitting at the desk of the dental office, do they really want to be the person who's scrutinizing the patient, asking them questions about their insurance coverage? I don't know whether they would like to play that role.